Saturday night live, and we'll be talking about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer on the brink, really, of top four not being possible. Some interesting quotes from him. We'll be talking about comparisons which I think are very relevant in relation to certainly Leicester City and Chelsea. But the reality is Manchester United tonight sit, I think, in 15th or 16th place. I don't know. I don't want to look, to be honest with you. I don't go to page 2. I shouldn't have to. But we are 10 points off 4th. Chelsea going and winning away convincingly. Leicester going and win away amazingly well. We cannot afford to draw or lose tomorrow. Forget drawing. We've got to win tomorrow. But has top four gone already? Some people on social media, a lot of fans saying that it is. We'll also be talking about the Ryan Giggs event last night. That video will be coming up on the channel, so keep subscribed, notifications on. What I just wanted to say at the start off as well, Christmas party has been released for the United stand. Everyone who was there last night will know what a great event it was, and in London. Spoke to loads of people. Get yourself down to the United Stand Christmas party on Thursday the 5th of December at Hotel Football, 2 days before the Manchester derby. Christmas will be rocking in Manchester. Get yourself up there on the Thursday. Pop up to the Manchester Christmas market in the day. Get yourself a hotel sorted, or a late bus or train, and get yourself to the Manchester United Stand Christmas party on the 5th. It's going to be brilliant. We've got lots of things planned. There'll definitely be live show, some stuff going on, so and there'll definitely be some good Christmas songs and a laugh, so get yourself along to that. Tickets are available, link in the video description. Only a tenner and you get a free drink as well, so bring your wife, bring your girlfriend, bring your boyfriend, everybody's welcome. But let's get on with it. United Stand, Ryan Giggs event last night, very interesting. I'm not going to give too much away about it, but we'll talk about that in a couple of minutes. We'll give you a couple of spoilers ahead of the video about what Ryan had to say. But look, Manchester United, the situation is with this. This is a quote from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer ahead of the game tomorrow. We need results as soon as possible. We need a result against Norwich, but then again, we are in the position we are. Answers on a postcard to what that means, I don't know. We need a result tomorrow against Norwich, but then again, we are in the position we are. We've seen it with Moyes, we've seen it with Van Gaal, we've seen it in Mourinho. When it comes towards the end, they start to come out with weird stuff. And I'm not saying it is the end for Ole, but he is starting to come out with some really weird stuff. He also said that we made the decision to start the transition, and that transition period has been difficult. But I think the young kids are going to learn from it. So basically saying, look, we've decided to go down this transition route. It's been difficult, but the young kids are going to learn from it, which is really interesting, because when you take the Premier League games into account, he hasn't played youth. He hasn't. In the first 9 games in the Premier League, the only youth player to start for Manchester United that I would class as youth is Twan Sebin. He's only played 2 games. Greenwood's never started. Gomez has never started. Chong has never started. I don't count McTominay, Rashford, Lingard as youth, because they've already established themselves under a previous manager. So I don't know whether he's there trying to leak in that, we've had the transition is to play the youth, and that's why we've had bad results. We've had bad results because you've picked bad teams, you've relied on experienced players who are not good enough, and the coaching's been bad. That's the situation. Let's call a spade a spade. You've got to go and win tomorrow. He's got to go and win the game tomorrow. And 10 points off top 4 is where we are now. Do I think top 4's gone? Look, you can't say top 4's gone in October, but what I did say even before this weekend, and I did hope that Southampton would take points off Leicester, and I did hope that Burnley would take points off Chelsea. They haven't. They're relentlessly winning games, they're relentlessly scoring goals. But I said this in the week, top 4's not gone for United, but what is absolutely essential is that Manchester United have got to go on an Ole-esque run like the first 3 months. We've got to go and win 10 games in a row to get ourselves back in the race. And when you look at our record at the moment, we don't look like we can win, let alone win 3 or 4 in a row. But that's what it's going to take to do it. So for me, top 4's not gone, but I totally know what we need to do to close that gap, because 10 points, 7 points, it's 3 wins that the other teams have got to drop. And that's the problem. I mean, Leicester could drop off, but do you think Chelsea are going to go and lose 3 games in a row and we're going to win 3 games in a row just to get back involved? We saw this last season. We saw that Herculean effort from Ole to get us back in the race, and it was amazing. And then we got back in the race and we dropped off again. Just to get back there is hard enough, but then to stay there, it's very difficult. So I don't disagree with people saying the top 4 race is already gone. it's just October, so you can't really say it. But we've put ourselves in a really, really bad position. And the reality is, you look at, and I want to come on to this, let me just read this comment from Jason Claverley. He says, stuck between giving Ollie time with no vision or sack him and rebuild all over again. Can see Norwich getting a result over us. We have no creativity. Well, I spoke to somebody at the event last night, and I totally agree with what they said. On Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, they said, and this is basically what I've said, but people don't want to listen to me. So I'll say what this person said to me last night. They said, look, and they were Mancunian, they were a Manchester fan, and they said, love Ollie, he's a legend of the club, absolutely love him, but does that mean I have to support him as a manager if he's not good enough? He's always going to be a legend of the club, but it doesn't mean that I have to hide, I don't have to hide behind this bullshit of it's Ollie the legend, so we've got to back him. If he ain't a good manager, he ain't a good manager. Peter Schmeichel's a legend of the club. He'd be a shit manager. And these are the words this person said, and I thought, you're absolutely spot on. But he also said basically what I think, which is, I want Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to be successful. I want him to be successful. But if you're asking me if I think he is, I'm probably leaning towards quite heavily that he won't. He just looks out of his depth. We go in at half-time and we come out worse. That is the biggest hint ever that there's a problem with the coaching. When a team comes in at half-time and then comes out in the second half worse, that's your opportunity to get into the team. So that clearly displays a problem in relation to the coaching at half-time. But they also said, look, I want Ollie to be successful. I'm very worried that he will be, but I don't want him to be sacked and we go and get another foreign manager like Allegri, because I think we'll end up in the same position again. So it is a hard position for United fans at the moment, because I totally get why people want Ollie out. I'm concerned about him. I'm not Ollie out yet. And what I would say is, the minute we hit bottom three, he's got to go. And tomorrow could be the tipping point, really. If we lose to Norwich tomorrow, I think probably he's got to go. It's that. So he is on the brink, really. And people would say, well, how can you be Ollie in now and then Ollie in out tomorrow night? Because I've got concerns. I've got concerns about where we are. We're in a very bad position. And these people who are saying, give him time, we're back in 89. Nah, shut up. And I don't like saying shut up to people, it's disrespectful. But no, seriously, we're in a really bad situation. And it's magnified by something I'm going to talk about in a minute with Brandon Rodgers and Frank Lampard. But we're in a really bad situation. But if we lose tomorrow, that'll be Norwich, West Ham, Newcastle, Crystal Palace, Southampton, Wolves. There's probably somebody else that we've dropped silly points to. I think we've got 2 points from 15 against teams in the bottom half. If we lose to Norwich, who are in the bottom three, he's got to go. I don't care about long-term vision. The present's what's matter. He's got to. If we lose tomorrow, he's got to go. And I will say that here now. And I don't really want to ever be Ollie out. But if he loses tomorrow, I think he's got to go. And I would say that. And I'll stand by that. I think he's got to go if he loses tomorrow. It's a massive game. We always say it's a big game. But I can't see, if we lose tomorrow, I think Norwich are there to be beaten. I think Chelsea would go there and win. I think if Man City went there now, they would win. They're very exposed at the back. There's a way to get at Norwich. It'll be a high-scoring game, but there's a way to get at them. He's got to go and win tomorrow. And I think he will win tomorrow. I do think he'll win tomorrow. But I also agree with that fan, and I've said it myself. If we did sack him, I've always said this, I don't want this board to sack Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I want this board to be sacked. I want Woodward to be sacked. I don't want Ollie to be sacked by Woodward and Woodward to be in charge of another manager, because it will be a mistake. We will appoint somebody that we don't want. Allegri, Pochettino, they'll make another mistake. I don't want Woodward to do that. I'd rather keep Ollie and get rid of Woodward for a bit, and then get a competent person in to say, Ollie, you've got 3 months. If you don't do well, you're gone. And he probably would be gone in 3 months. But I don't want Woodward to sack another manager. I've got to be adamant about that. Matt Ross says, Leicester 9 goals in one game and United have 10 for the season so far. What's your thoughts on a gulf in class? I'm glad you said that, Matt, because it feeds nicely into what I want to sort of talk about now. And that is that, look, we're going round the and I will tell you some stuff from the Ryan Giggs event in a minute, but we are going round the Reekin a little bit, because what I have said, I've said this a few times, but it's become very apparent tonight, is that we went to Southampton and played against 10 men for 20 minutes and we couldn't score a goal. Leicester played against them for a long time and they got 9 goals. 9 goals away from home. They equalled our Premier League record against Norwich, but they did it away from home. So theirs is better than ours. 9-0 against Ipswich at home is great. But 9-0 away in the Premier League, theirs is better than ours. That was stunning last night. But it's a style of football. It's a style of football. It's an intent to go and score goals. Chelsea today, 4-0 up against Burnley. It's a style of football. It's an intent to go and score goals. Manchester United, I don't think we even have a style of football, by the way. But you get comments like this coming out from Fred. I mean, I just wanted to read this out. This is from Fred. Lost in translation. He is Brazilian. But I think the theme of the message, and he did say other things, but I think this really made me surprised when he said that me and Scott are on a good run of form at the moment. We just want to keep it going. Where are you on a good... I'm sorry, our midfield's terrible, Fred. Like, it is. I know you and... I like you and Scott McTominay, right? But I've seen through you both. Like, you're both full of effort, but both of you give the ball away. Both of you get bypassed too easily. You're full of effort, but effort's not good enough. But Fred's coming out saying, yeah, me and Scott are in a great vein of form at the moment. Where's this great vein of form then? A good half against Liverpool, a bad half against Liverpool, and an embarrassing performance against Partizan Belgrade, where the midfield got absolutely bypassed. So it's this belief in the squad that they think they're actually doing well, which is really, really scary. No wonder they're happy with Solskjaer, because they all think they're doing a good job. And I'm like, I watch United and I watch Chelsea and I watch Leicester, and I don't talk about Man City and Liverpool because they're on another bloody planet, let alone another street. But Chelsea and Leicester, right? Leicester appointed Brendan Rodgers, I think, in late February or early March. Chelsea appointed Lampard in the summer. We got Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in December. He's been there at Manchester United longer than Lampard and Brendan Rodgers, right? Now, at Manchester United, we get told by the board and by Solskjaer that this is a long-term thing. We're making a transition. There might be some short-term pain for long-term gain, right? Fine. Absolutely fine. But where it falls apart is, that's fine. I know we need to change the squad. I know we need to bring through the youth. I know we need to change the mentality. We all agree with that because we don't trust these players anyway. I absolutely agree with that. But where it falls apart is, that's no excuse not to play good football with the players that you've got. You can't just say, I'm changing everything and that's why we're crap on the football pitch. You can't do that. Because look at Brendan Rodgers. He comes into Leicester. Leicester have got a good set of players, I agree. But I don't agree they've got a better squad than Manchester United. Our squad is the 4th best paid or the 5th best paid in the world. The 5th best, let's say the 5th. The 5th best paid squad in the world. Either we've got a team that's well overpaid and they're crap, and Woodward should be sacked because of the recruitment, or we're not getting the best out of those players. The truth is probably the both, right? But I would say if you put Jurgen Klopp in charge of Manchester United, or Brendan Rodgers in charge of Manchester United, or Frank Lampard in charge of Manchester United, over the next month, I'm not saying we'd go top 4, we'd move up the table and we would see the vision, because they have a vision. With Solskjaer, we get told about what's going to happen in the future, but we're not getting anything back in the present in relation to what his style of football is, other than sit back and counter-attack. The most basic I mean, basically, if you're in a fight tonight, right, you know, somebody rings you up and says, you know what, Floyd Mayweather wants a fight tonight, we'll give you 10 million to get in the ring with him. And you go, yeah, I'll do it, right? You've not been training. He's going to smash your arse anyway. But you go in the ring. What are you going to do? You're going to get close as a corner as you can. You're going to put your guard up and you're just going to throw a punch every now and again. Because you're not trained. You don't know what you're doing. And that's the best thing you can do. It's called counter-attacking boxing. What are we doing as a football club? We're counter-attacking. We've got our arms up and we're counter-attacking. And sometimes it works. But we're certainly not like a Chelsea or a Leicester or an Arsenal or a Man City or a Liverpool who... They go on the front foot. They're moving across the ring. They're throwing the punches. They're trying to win with their technique and their skill. We are in the corner, arms up, throw a punch and try and knock them out. It's the most simple way to do anything when you're not very good. Whether it's getting in a boxing ring and you're not trained, you know, you sit back. You sit back and that's what we're doing. And that's all I see from United at the moment. I don't have a problem, like I say, with retraining the club, restructuring the club, bringing the youth through. That's absolutely fine. But where I do have a problem is you should still have a philosophy. You should still have a vision. Look at Chris Wilder at Sheffield United. They know what they're doing. He's got a philosophy. He's got a style of play. And definitely with Leicester and Chelsea, they've got a style of play that is very easy to see. I've only seen Chelsea 4 times this season, and every game I've known exactly what Lampard's trying to do. I don't know. I've seen Ole Gunnar Solskjaer every single game. I don't know what he's trying to do, and that's the thing that worries me. He talks the talk, the vision's great, but we're not seeing that style of play. And Rodgers and Lampard have been at their clubs a lot less. I mean, Lampard didn't get he got a transfer ban. He lost his best player, and they're doing what they're doing. Rodgers came in. He lost arguably his best player in Harry Maguire. He's been there a lot less time, and I just do not agree that Chelsea have got better players than us and Leicester have got better players than us. I don't agree with that. I really don't. And even if you do, it's marginal. But it's not marginal in the Premier League, is it? You know, if you think Leicester have got a slightly better squad than us, or Chelsea have got a slightly better squad than us, then maybe they should be in 4th and 3rd and we should be in 6th or 7th. But we're not. We're down in the bottom half. We're way below. So, you know, I can even come back to those people who say, oh, they've got better teams than us. Well, all right, I don't agree with you, but even if they have, it's not like where we are and where they are, the gaps. And why is that gap there? So he is on the brink. He is under pressure, and he has to go and win tomorrow, which I think he will do. But it is difficult at the moment because you know, if I was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's agent or whatever, I'd be sat with him tonight having a glass of red, and I'd be going, look, we could really do without what Chelsea and Rodgers are doing because they've been there less than you. They've not had as much money as you, and they're playing far better than you, and they've got a philosophy that's better than you, and they're not talking about 2 years, they're just getting on with their job. Has Lampard come out and said this is going to take 2 or 3 years to win a title? He probably will. I don't think he's actually said it, but we're hiding behind it all the time. Couple of super chats coming in. Mark, why didn't United go for Rodgers? It's the twilight zone that Ollie would be better than Rodgers. And Prem Prodigy says, the style of football we play is Simeone ball, try and grab a goal and sit back and defend the lead. I think in fairness to Diego Simeone, I'd never want him at Manchester United, but it's very, very far from being what we're playing at the moment. Atletico Madrid are explosive as a footballing side. They are very, very good defensively, but they're very aggressive defensively. They're very well organised, and then they're very quick when they get the ball. They do it far, far better than nothing like what we do, but yeah, I don't know what you think. I think we've got to win tomorrow. And I feel nervous saying that if we lose tomorrow, I would have to be Solskjaer out because I think I would. Yeah, I think I would. And I feel bad because I spoke to people last night who are totally behind Ollie, give him the time he needs. But, you know, it's a personal choice, isn't it? And I just think enough is enough, really. We've got to win tomorrow. Chelsea in the Carabao Cup on Wednesday. Look, as long as we don't get embarrassed, I don't expect us to win that. But we've got to beat Norwich and we've got to beat Bournemouth. A point's not good enough. Loss is unacceptable. We've got to take 6 points from the next 2 games. Buster Nut says Ollie's setting us up for draws and trying to nick a goal for the win. Not many get sacked because of a draw. I'll be at the game, so let's see. Yeah, I said that in the week, didn't I, Buster Nut? You don't get sacked drawing games. So, Ahmed, I am confident about tomorrow, to be honest with you. I am absolutely confident tomorrow. I just want to bring something in here as well. It may not be a headline story. It's more of a United stand story, which I think are always the best conversations. But, you know, like we've always spoken about Fabinho. And I don't know how many of you have watched the show. I mean, I met somebody last night who was at the event, and he says, I've only been watching the show for 6 months. I absolutely bloody love it. I watch it every day. And which is great, because doesn't just reflect on me or Flex or the United Stand. It reflects on the community as well. It's the whole package. The amount of people who say, I just love the community, I love the live comments, etc, etc. So I don't know how long people have been watching the show, but if you were watching it probably 3 or 4 years, you'd know we spoke about Fabinho for a long time, and you'd know how irritating it is. And I always argue with Liverpool fans, because he's their player. And if you mention United, they're like, "Oh, get lost. He never would have gone to you." Well, he would have gone to us because we were talking about Fabinho 2 or 3 years before you even bought him. Liverpool fans never spoke about Fabinho, really. We spoke about him because a lot of you, and sometimes me, we do keep an eye on Europe and we do look at players that are, they'd be good. Fabinho went to Liverpool. We got Matic a year earlier. Same agent as Mourinho. Absolute mistake. He would have been brilliant for us. Poor recruitment. What did we see today? Christian Pulisic, lifelong Manchester United fan. His family love Manchester United. He's American. The American market is huge for football. It's growing absolutely massive. If United bought an American player who was good, we'd make millions and millions and millions. And we've got owners who are American. Pulisic, do United go in? And he plays off the right wing and can play off the left wing. Do United make a move for Christian Pulisic? Do they bloody heck? He goes to Chelsea. What a signing by Chelsea on many levels. 1, he's talented. 2, he's going to make him a load of money because of the market he's got. And 3, he's exactly what we need. And I'm just sat there tonight watching Pulisic going, look, yeah, he got a hat-trick tonight. A couple of the goals were a bit lucky, but he got an assist the other night. He's a very, very good player who Lampard hasn't actually... Unlike Pepe at Arsenal, who's been thrown in, Lampard's actually... The brilliance of Lampard is that he's actually not chucked Pulisic in straight away. There's been games where Chelsea fans, why are we not playing Pulisic? And now they're understanding why, because he's been nurtured in. But why that... we talk about our recruitment. I tell you what, they take us for mugs. They take us for mugs. Oh, we've got a great set of recruiters. We've got brilliant agents. You haven't. Or if you have, you don't listen to them. Why? I mean, Pulisic is probably the... Fabinho is always the one that bothers me. But Pulisic is probably the worst of the lot. Nick P says, the funny thing about last night, it was Johnny Evans who told the team at 5-0 to push for the record and keep scoring. We lack leaders so much. Jay Singh says, we need to loan more youth players out because they are not ready. Look at Twan Sebi, loaned out and now is one of their best talents. What do you think? Well, I said Gomez and Chong should have got loaned out. I think they should have been loaned out because they're not really playing that often anyway, are they? They're still doing what they did last year. Oh, they're great talents, but they're on the bench every now and again and playing for the reserves where they could have been playing championship football. So I agree. I said it in the summer, Jay. I don't know why we didn't do it. Watford looking like they could be relegated with us this season. Go out and get Decore. Could be our Wijnaldum, Shaqiri, etc. But going back to that, the Pulisic thing absolutely is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And it's worse than Fabinho. Because for Fabinho, we were all like, we need a CDM. He can play right back. He's cultured. He's good on the ball. He'd be perfect for us. United don't go for him. A bit like Bruno Fernandes in the summer. Be absolutely perfect for us. We don't go for him or we pull out. I mean, they are irritating because Bruno Fernandes would have been brilliant. Fabinho would have been brilliant. Perisic, another one, would have been brilliant. We pull out. But the Pulisic one, I mean, oh my days. We've got no wingers, really. We've got Dan James and that's it. Pulisic would have been perfect for United. And what I cannot get my head around is, not only would he be a great footballer for us, or a great signing for us, from a business point of view, and we're run by businessmen who don't even support our club and love American things and are American. Pulisic, from a business point of view, from a shirt selling point of view, would have been brilliant. It would have made us way more popular in America than we are. It would have sold loads of bloody shirts. He's a lifelong Manchester United fan and we sit on our hands. So not only was he perfect for us for what we need as a footballer, he was also perfect for the business side of things. And United are nowhere near the deal. And this is again, moving away from Ollie, this is again the problem upstairs. We are run so badly. That Pulisic one, and I would have preferred Fabinho and I would have preferred Bruno Fernandes. But the Pulisic one exposes us and recruitment way more than anything because not only is he a good player, but from a business point of view, it was an absolute no-brainer. And we're nowhere near the deal. Sad. Really sad. Little bit about transfer stuff. This talk of Bale coming to United for Pogba. I did want to speak to Ryan Giggs about Bale, but he wouldn't speak about it. I think it was the way I put the question before we were there, and he was like, I'm not answering that because I'll get quoted on it. But this is in the Spanish press saying that maybe £90 million for Pogba, plus Giggs. We'd have Giggs back. Even now he's looking good, but 90 million plus Bale for Pogba. In the summer I didn't want Bale. In the summer I didn't want Emre Can. In the summer I thought we were going to have an amazing summer. I didn't realise we were going to buy nobody. So where we are now, I never envisaged this. In May when people were mentioning Bale and I was like, get lost, I don't want them, I was like thinking we were going to be fighting for top four and building something. We got nobody. So if you're telling me now Pogba desperately wants to go and we can have 90 million plus Bale, I'll do it. And I'll do it for this reason. £150 million for Pogba or 90 million plus Bale. I'll take the Bale thing because if we take 150 million, that 150 million won't come back anyway. So I would take Bale. I would take Bale. There's massive concerns about Bale, about his form, about his attitude, his appetite, for the game. There's a lot of rumours that he's not actually that into football anymore. His age, his injury record. But at this point, do you want Bale? Do you want Lingard and Mata, or do you want Bale? Every day of the week, I'll take Bale. So I mean, it's sad that I've had to change my opinion on that, but it just reflects where we are as a football club. What else? We spoke about Fred. Greenwood scored last night for the under-23, so there's no way he's starting tomorrow. I actually mentioned that because I wonder if he's going to be on the bench or not. Signing Fernandes would have saved us from this ditch, says Jenks1102. I'm going to keep saying this all along. Bruno Fernandes was on United's radar, and for God knows what reason they pulled out. I don't know whether it was that scout who said he takes too many risks, but whatever. They got it wrong, and not signing Bruno Fernandes is going to cost us every week of this season. Every single week of this season it's going to cost us. It was silly. Please do smash a like on the video, everybody. Let's talk about Gigsy for a minute. We had the event last night, Ryan Giggs, evening with the United stand at the ICC in Birmingham. Fantastic. Thanks everyone who did come along. I know for some people it was like, oh, you've never done this before, you don't know what it's going to be like. I think anybody who was there will tell you it was absolutely fantastic. There will be a video of the bit we did on stage with him, but it was a whole evening. It was really, really good. Obviously I'm not going to tell you a lot of what was said on the night because we'll wait for the video on that, but it was a really good evening. Thanks for everyone coming along. It's our second United Stand event that we've done. Our third one is the Christmas party on Thursday the 5th of December. It's at Hotel Football, so might be somebody there, but we will definitely be there. We've got DJ, we've got prizes, quiz. It's going to be a fantastic night, and I'm really enjoying doing them. It's great. We get around talking to people, photos, whatever you want to do. Well, not whatever, but it's great. It's the Christmas party. It's the United Stand Christmas party, Hotel Football, £10 a ticket. We want to raise over £1,000 for Children's Hospital as well in Manchester. You get a free drink as well, so it's really a £5 because you get a free drink as well. Links in the video description for it. Bring your friends, bring your girlfriend, whatever. You've got to be over 18. You've got to be over 18 because it is in licensed premises. But if you're not from Manchester, it's an opportunity. It's right next to Old Trafford, Hotel Football, if you've never been. Right next to it. Get yourself up there in the day. Go on a stadium tour. Get yourself into Manchester. Go around the German market. Get yourself down there for the night. It's going to be a cracking night. Christmas. I tell you what, as well, we're having a bad time at United at the moment, aren't we? So that's something to look forward to as a United fan. We had a great time last night. We had a great time in London. We'll have a great time at Christmas as well. So links in the video description for that. Really hope to see loads and loads of you there, and I think you will really enjoy it. So get yourself down to that. On the Ryan Giggs thing, just very, very quickly then, I got a message from my brother today, actually. He said, I can't believe it. He said, 10 years ago, do you think you'd be sat on a stage interviewing Ryan Giggs? And it sort of synced in it really synced in when I was sat next to him. I was like, I'm not really somebody who gets starstruck, but being sat next to Ryan Giggs, and because it was in Birmingham, and all I could think about was the 99 goal. And unfortunately, Matt Murray, who did the first half with him, had already asked him about the goal because I wanted to ask him about the goal. But it was something. I think when you meet your like legends and famous people like that you've sort of grown up watching, he's not as big as I thought. And all I could think was, I'd love to be on a five-a-side pitch and watch it and have him tear me apart. Because when you stood next to somebody and he's smaller than you, you're like, it's just, I don't know whether it's a man thing or a woman thing. Maybe women feel the same. But you always think, oh, I could have him. And I've always been, I'm not a violent person, but from a footballing sense, I look at someone and go, he ain't going to get past me. But of course he's going to skin the life out of me. But it was really good. A couple of things just to give you as a spoiler. He was asked a question about, this wasn't one of our questions, so I'll just tell you. He was asked about becoming Manchester United manager. Is it something, because he's Wales coach at the moment, is it something that's driving him? And he said, no, not really. Becoming Manchester United manager, he says, no, not really. And I'm not saying I don't want to do it, but it's not something that drives me at the moment. I'm loving what I'm doing with Wales, and we'll just see what happens in the future. Which I thought was a good answer, really, because obviously, what he did say is, my proudest moment coming out at Old Trafford, despite all the times I played in a Manchester United shirt, my proudest moment at Old Trafford was leading the team out against Norwich as manager. So I think that's very interesting, isn't it? Because you think about his career, he's captained the club, the great nights at the European nights, winning trophies in a shirt. But he said his greatest moment at Old Trafford, and his proudest moment, was leading out Manchester United as a manager against Norwich. So, massive that is, isn't it? And also he spoke about Daniel James, of course, and he just said, look, fantastic talent, and he's going to get better and better and better. So, very interesting. But there's loads more, which we'll be putting up early next week. Progressive Dad says, add Bruno and Timo and Maddison to the mix, and I think we have a title contending team if Ollie wakes up. Our defence is already there. We are not 5 years off a title at all. You know what? I think Ollie does. I think that's a very, very good point from Progressive Dad. Ollie does need to wake up. He does need to wake up. I don't see Brendan Rodgers talking about 5 years to get back in the top 4. And Leicester shouldn't even be in the top 4. He's just going for it. He's just doing it. He's only been there since March. I don't see Frank Lampard talking about 3 years till we win a title. He's only just gone in there and they're beating decent teams. They're beating European Cup semi-finalists in their own backyard. They're destroying teams in the Premier League. He's just getting his head down and doing the job. He's not talking about the future. He's doing it now. And I like that because I've said this before about Solskjaer and Woodward. Every time they come out and say this is a long-term plan, 2 years, the players are sat there with their slippers on going, no pressure, lads. There's no demands on us. I just don't think Sir Alex Ferguson would ever come out and say this is a 2-year plan. Because Sir Alex Ferguson was about keeping them on the toes. And another thing Ryan Giggs said last night, and it's not from our questions, so I'm not spoiling anything here. He was saying about there was a game where they were playing, I can't remember what team he said, but they were losing 2-0 at half time. And Sir Alex Ferguson had a right go at Gigsy. And it was right at the start of his career. And he said he had a right pop at me. And I scored 2 goals in the second half and we won. And I realised that night I've set myself up for a right fall now. Because I've just gone and scored 2 goals in the second half. Because he bollocked me at half time. And he said that set me up for the rest of my career. Every time, half time, if we weren't doing that well, he gave me a bollocking. Because he said he'd never give Cantona a bollocking. Didn't really give Keane a bollocking. That's changed now. But he dealt with players in a different way. But that's Sir Alex Ferguson. He would never, ever say this is 2 years because it lets the players have an excuse to take the foot off the pedal, which is why Lampard's not doing it. It's why Brendan Rodgers isn't doing it. Why are we doing that? And as the commenter said there, he needs to wake up a bit and stop talking about the future and start putting a bit of pressure on his players now. I think it's too nicey nice. I think that's why we go in at half time and we're like, second half will be better, and we're worse because there's not enough accountability. There's not enough aggression in that team. There's not enough pressure on that team, and we need that. We need this. We need this to start happening now. And look, the patience is there from the club. I think we'll win tomorrow, so I don't think I will even have to think about whether I'm Ollie out tomorrow because we're nearly in the relegation zone. I think we'll win tomorrow, and I think we can win at Bournemouth. And then you've got 6 points. We won't be saying Ollie out then. We'll be saying, oh, I don't know whether he's the right man, but there might be a little bit. This is how he stays in a job. This is how he stays in a job. He can work it back. We know that they're talking about spending money. We know that they're constantly saying that Ollie's the right man. If he can start to get results and buy himself more time to buy more players in, he might get through it. By the skin of his teeth, he might get through it. But he's got to start. He's got to wake up and he's got to stop making excuses. Talking about the future when you're in a relegation fight or you're near relegation, you can't do that. You've got something to deal with right now. He does need to wake up. You're right. A very, very good comment. He's got to wake up right now and stop talking about the future because I don't think it's doing anybody any good. It's not doing the fans any good. It's definitely not doing Ollie any good. And I don't think the players are responding. And let's be honest, we don't want to talk about relegation because we won't get relegated. But we're very close to relegation zone at the moment. So we do need to wake up. Humi says, if Ollie left and get the sacked, would you get rid of McKenna, Phelan, Carrick, the whole lot? If a new manager comes in, it might happen anyway and want their own backroom. But any of them realistic loss to you? Humi, I don't think that works. You know what? I think you make a good point as well. The board should not put pressure on a new manager to keep certain people. We've to be fair, I think we saw it with Giggs. I think we saw it with Giggs, didn't we? Because he was under Moyes, and then or was he under Moyes, or he retired under Moyes, and then he became the right hand man for Van Gaal. But no, if Ollie got the sack, and I like I say, I don't think he will do. Hopefully, he can turn it around. But if he did get the sack, then Carrick, McKenna, and Phelan have to go as well. That's what happens at other clubs, so it needs to happen here. You couldn't bring a manager in and say you've got to keep the same backroom staff. You know, managers have a lot of managers have their coaching staff that make them successful. Look at Mourinho with Rui Faria. Rui Faria left and Mourinho plummeted. So no, you'd have to let them go. But tomorrow's a massive game, absolutely massive game, isn't it? And we've got to win. I'm looking forward to it. We will obviously be live at 3:30 with the team news. I'm expecting to win. And you know what? People say I get stuff wrong, like Newcastle I got wrong. But you know, When I really have a strong feeling, like an expectation, I said I don't expect us to lose to Liverpool, we won't. I don't expect us to lose to Arsenal, we won't. And tomorrow, I don't expect us to lose to Norwich. I expect us to win, and I think we will. I've got a very, very strong feeling that we'll win. And it's not like Newcastle where we should win. I think tomorrow, Newcastle, if you lose, you know, the pressure, there's going to be a lot of moaning, but the pressure wasn't enough. Tomorrow, if we lose, I think it's on the brink, pivotal. Tomorrow is a massive game, absolutely massive. If we lose that tomorrow, then trouble. And the club will have a decision to make, and they may ride it out a little bit longer, but we'll win. We'll definitely win. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about Thomas Muller. Apparently, we're not in for him anymore. Good. Thanks everyone for watching. Please do smash a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. Massive game for United tomorrow, of course. We will be live with watch-alongs and fan cams. We've got the Ryan Giggs interview coming up next week. Probably early next week. Probably Monday next week. So make sure you subscribe. You get your notifications on. And as I said, Christmas party, Thursday the 5th of December in Manchester at Hotel Football. Right opposite Old Trafford. So if you're coming up from outside of Manchester, get yourself to the stadium tour. Come to the Hotel Football thing on the evening. You can get into Manchester. They've got a great Christmas market. Make a day of it. Stay over. Make a 2-day of it. If you're going to the Derby, make 3 days out of it. But make sure you come. We've got a few things that we don't definitely know that they're happening yet, but we'll make it well worth your while. But even if that doesn't happen, we are on stage. We'll do a live United stand. It's me, Flex, Rants. We'll get some of the other regulars there as well, like Seed and Adam and all that. Xander will be there as well. So loads of stuff going on. Free drink, £10. £10 for a Christmas party ticket, and you get a free drink as well. It's nothing. And we're trying to raise money for Manchester Children's Hospital as well. So, but more importantly, just get yourself down there, because it's great meeting people and having a chat and stuff like that. And I think we've built a brilliant community. And as I said, last night was fantastic at the Gigsy event. And hopefully we've got one of them coming up in the new year as well. So, but the Christmas party, links in the video description. Make sure you get there, get your tickets, because we've only got so many. Once they're gone, we can't get any more in. Speak to you all soon. Tomorrow's a big day. Thanks for watching.